Have you ever had somebody inquire and you respond all excited, ready to get this booking, only to hear nothing in return? Well, this is the problem that was happening when a photographer sent me a message on Instagram asking me, Ariel, how can I raise my perceived value in the eyes of the people I'm trying to reach? And her question is such a good one. You know, whenever we get an inquiry that doesn't book, it makes us question our prices, our skills, our photos, absolutely everything about what we're doing. And typically, we respond by either lowering our prices or we increase the actual value by trying to improve our packages or add more photos or something like that. But the problem is that with number one, lowering your prices, you're going to make less money and you're gonna get burnt out. And the problem with number two is that that costs you more money. So what's the right answer? How do we fix this problem? The answer is the same exact answer to the question this photographer was asking me. How can we raise our audience's perceived value of us? To be able to answer this question, we have to step into the mind of our ideal client. I want you to think with me. What are they asking? They're asking, are the benefits worth the cost? And the benefits don't just have to be physical. They can also be logical or emotional. And the perceived costs isn't just money. It's also time and stress. Is this worth it? And it's your job to show them that you are worth it, that your prices are worth it, so that ultimately when they inquire, they have no choice but to say yes. So here's 3 things that you can do to raise your perceived value in the eyes of your ideal client. The first thing you can do is build credibility. Credibility reduces that risk factor for your ideal client. They're scared that maybe the photos aren't going to be good. Maybe it's going to take 4 months for them to get their photos back. You don't know what their fears are, and so what you're wanting to do is put all of those to rest. Here's how you could do that practically. 1, features and publications. Those badges that you get from those publishers that go on your website show your ideal client that they have nothing to worry about, that your work is so good that it was actually acknowledged by somebody else who matters, somebody that they respect. Referrals and reviews. We all know how powerful word of mouth marketing is, but how do we get our clients to talk about us? Well, first, make sure your experience is worth talking about. And second, ask. When I send my clients their gallery, I send a simple note that says, hey, word of mouth marketing really matters. X% of my customers come from you. So if you don't mind, anytime you post these pictures or anytime you're chatting with somebody who's looking for a photographer, please feel free to give them my name. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. Being constantly busy. This is whenever you are constantly showing your audience that people are hiring you. Even if you haven't had a session in a month, I want you to go back, find photos from old sessions, and don't even talk about the fact that they're old. Just repost them with a new caption. Talk to your audience, make it look like you're still just as busy as ever. People want things that are wanted by others, so always make it look like you're busy. Through a trial. Now, how do we offer a trial as photographers? We can't really give away stuff for free. Well, the best way to offer people a trial is by doing some sort of mini session. I know, not everyone is a fan of people doing mini sessions, but I actually think they're a really good marketing opportunity. Doing mini sessions can eliminate perceived risks for your ideal client. Let's pretend they're worried that your photos are going to be horrible. Maybe they're worried about you not being good with kids. Maybe they wonder if you're worth the money or if they're going to get their photos back in a reasonable amount of time. Well, you're addressing all of these risks by doing a mini session and ultimately leaving them wanting more. The second thing that you can do to raise your perceived value in the eyes of your ideal client is by giving them an unforgettable client experience. Conveniency. Time is money. Time is worth more than money, and our clients want us to make the process as convenient as possible. So I want you to lay out everything that your client goes through from the moment they inquire to the moment of their session. And I want you to ask yourself, are there any unnecessary hurdles that you could eliminate to make the experience better for them? For example, one way that I did this in my own business was through online booking. Me and my clients were spending so much time emailing back and forth and waiting days for them to end up responding to my email and me responding to their email. But by implementing online booking, not only did my bookings get done faster, but it made the experience easier for them too. Focus on non-price attributes. This is when we add things to our packages that don't cost us any money. This might look like a style guide or a free style consultation or a consultation in general or a free engagement session, right? These are things that don't cost you any money but still raise your perceived value in their eyes. The third thing you can do to raise their perceived value of you is focus on emotional connections. In your online marketing, I want you to focus on being intentional and really establishing connections with your ideal client. Ask yourself, how do I want them to feel at the end of reading this? Anytime an ideal client goes to my social media page or my website or my blog, I want them to not just understand me, but to feel understood. The other day, I had an amazing interaction with somebody who already has a session booked with me. I was doing branding photos for their business, and right after, she messaged me and said, I just want to let you know that hanging out with you today made me so excited for our session. That got me thinking. It's funny how our personality and our ability to make people feel comfortable and stress-free, even when it's not during a session, matters. You want to make sure that every single client interaction makes them feel connected to you and excited about the next step in the process. That starts not at your client session, but at their very first encounter with you and your brand. Let me know in the comments some other things that you've done to increase your perceived value in the eyes of your ideal client.